Hubris comes from the book Sacred Chains, Faith Captive by Z.T. Thomas. Before we get into the reading, I'd like to show a short video to set the tone.
As far as putting words in order is concerned, AI already thinks better than many of us. Therefore, anything made of words will be taken over by AI. If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal system. If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion.
The idea that humanity is becoming godlike through technology has a powerful emotional pull. We cure diseases that once wiped out civilizations, extend life expectancy far beyond what our ancestors imagined, and shape nature with an ease that would have seemed miraculous only a few centuries ago. From this vantage point, it is tempting to believe that God is no longer necessary, that humanity has outgrown dependence on anything beyond itself. A prominent Silicon Valley thinker has argued, implicitly and explicitly, that if humans could defeat death, eliminate suffering, and engineer happiness, then the traditional idea of God becomes irrelevant. Yet this line of thinking confuses imitation with identity, power with wisdom, and capability with moral authority. To imitate something is not to become it. A child can imitate a parent's voice, gestures, and habits, but this does not grant the child the parent's maturity, responsibility, or understanding. In the same way, humanity may imitate certain attributes traditionally associated with God: healing, creation, longevity. But imitation does not equal essence. Technology can delay death, but it cannot explain why life has meaning. Medicine can ease pain, but it cannot tell us what suffering is for or how it should shape the soul. Efficiency can optimize comfort, but it cannot define goodness. What is being confused here is functional resemblance with ontological reality. Doing some of what God does, or what people believe God does not make humanity God. There is also a dangerous narrowing of what God means in this worldview. God is reduced to a cosmic problem solver whose only purpose is to fix biological flaws and maximize pleasure. Once those tasks are taken over by algorithms and laboratories, God is declared obsolete. But this is a shallow understanding of religion and faith. God, in most religious traditions, is not merely a technician repairing broken bodies. God is the ground of being, the source of moral law, the judge of justice, and the anchor of humility. Eliminating disease does not eliminate the human tendency toward cruelty. Extending life does not automatically make life meaningful. Making existence easier does not make it good. Ironically, the attempt to replace God often produces the very traits religion has long warned against: arrogance, pride, and self-idolatry. When humans begin to see themselves as the highest authority, they also begin to believe that whatever they can do, they should do. Without an external moral reference point, power becomes its own justification. History shows that when human beings place themselves at the center of the universe, they rarely become kinder or wiser. They become more efficient at domination. Technology amplifies intention, but it does not purify it. A sinful heart armed with godlike tools does not become divine, it becomes dangerous. The Silicon Valley vision of a post-God world assumes that intelligence and morality naturally rise together. But intelligence has always outpaced wisdom. Human beings figured out how to build weapons of mass destruction long before they learned how to live peacefully with one another. We decoded the genome before we resolved racism, greed, and tribalism. This gap remains, and technology only widens it. The belief that more data, more control, and more longevity will automatically lead to a better humanity is not scientific realism. It is faith in a different God, the God of progress. There is also a quiet fear beneath the desire to defeat death. Mortality humbles us. It reminds us that we are not self-created, not self-sustaining, and not self-sufficient. By trying to erase death entirely, humanity is not just seeking comfort. It is trying to escape accountability. If there is no death, no higher judgment, and no transcendent standard, then meaning becomes something we manufacture and revise at will. This does not free humanity. It leaves it unmoored. A life without limits may sound appealing, but limits are what give shape to responsibility, love, and sacrifice. Religion has never claimed that humans should remain weak, ignorant, or passive. On the contrary, many religious traditions see creativity, healing, and discovery as part of humanity's calling. The problem is not progress, it is pride. When progress turns into self-worship, it crosses a moral line. The ancient warning that humans should not try to be God was never about discouraging growth. It was about recognizing that power without humility corrodes the soul. The dream of becoming God through technology reveals a misunderstanding of both humanity and God. Humans are remarkable, creative, and capable of astonishing achievements, but they remain finite, morally conflicted, and deeply relational beings. God, by contrast, is not simply a superior human with better tools. God represents ultimate meaning, moral truth, and the source of existence itself. No amount of code, silicon, or data can generate those realities. Imitating God may make humans more powerful, but it does not make them divine. It makes them responsible. And if that responsibility is not grounded in humility, reverence, and moral restraint, then imitation becomes parody, and progress becomes a new form of fall. The question is not whether humanity can play God, but whether it understands why it shouldn't.